There was another message that I did some time ago about David and Goliath, and then the message came up again for me just recently when I was having a conversation with my daughter, and in that conversation, you know, she's a Bible reader, she's a God seeker, you know, and she has confidence in God for a lot of things, but you know, she's getting into a new school year, and she has expressed concern about, you know, the adjustment and about the people and like all of these things. So much so that she keeps asking me some of the same questions. And I'm like, okay, well, all right, let's talk about it again. But I'm noticing that in a lot of ways, there's some anxiety, there's some worry attached to it, which is the reason she keeps asking certain questions. But it led me to have this conversation with her about faith being tested and scripture being tried. And a lot of times those tests and that trying doesn't happen in the places that we are familiar and comfortable. It happens in unfamiliarity, and it happens in like newness and like the unknown categories and areas of life. So as I was talking to her, I was reminded of David and Goliath, and it was interesting because when David basically made up in his mind, like, I'm here for the fight, like I could fight Goliath, it's nothing, I got it. When he made that up in his mind, Saul was like, what? Like, you're a boy, like you're young. Goliath is the champion of the Philistine army, and he's been fighting longer than you've been alive. Like, this is not what you want. And David basically was like, well, when I go up and fight a bear or I fight a lion to save my sheep, God makes me victorious. So how is this, like, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that can stand against or defy the army of the living God? Like, what makes him special? And God can save me from a bear and a lion and from anything else that come up on my sheep, but he can't make me victorious with Goliath. Like, that don't even sound real. The connection to the stories for me was, you know, my daughter was sitting and talking to me and obviously expressing some concerns about the school year starting and the newness and all of these things. And it reminded me of how we have a tendency to trust God in some areas, but feel the need to control in others, you know. And like for her, she absolutely trusts God in so many areas. Like, she has seen his hand. She trusts that he will protect or provide or handle things and do certain things in some areas. But like when it comes to this school thing and her concerns about being ready and like adjusting and like all this stuff, she feels the need to control it. Like, she feels the need to study more, to do, and not trying to say, you know, not to prepare, but she is seeking all the ways that she can do what she would probably trust God to do in any other area of her life. And it was a reminder to me of like the ways that our faith is tested and that our scripture is tried. But it also pushed me to think about, what does that mean for different people? Like, for me, for a while, my challenge was like, okay, God, I have seen you be a provider. So in a lot of ways, I don't worry about bills anymore. I don't worry about not having enough. Like, I've seen you repeatedly provide more than enough right in the nick of time. So that's not an area that I feel the need to completely control. But in some areas for me, my challenge is protection. It's like, I don't know if you do that as well as you provide. In all transparency, you know what I'm saying? And other people, it's in reverse. It's like, God, I trust you to protect me, but I don't trust you to provide for me. Or God, I trust you to bring me, you know, quality friendships, but I don't trust you to provide the type of job that I need. Or, you know, and that was basically what David was saying to Saul. Was like, God has shown me all the things that he's capable of. Why would I minimize the categories that he works in by, feeling the need to control one area of my life, but trusting him in another. So, this was really the message for me. And it was a reminder to me, because we really face situations that we really believe are too big for God, that he doesn't work in that space, or he can't handle that thing. And really, he probably just doesn't, because you won't get your hands off of it. Like, you won't get your control out of it. And he's not going to share glory in the outcome. Like, he's more than capable to do all the things that are necessary, like, from providing to protecting. And I'm speaking only because I've lived it and I've seen it, and relationship and parenting and meeting every need that sometimes we don't even think God cares about, but he does that too. David easily could have been like, you know what, God did save me from the lion, and he did save me from the bear, but I don't know, Goliath is a giant. God probably can't do that. That's really what we do in life. Like, we have situations where we're like, yes, I have seen God provide for me. Yes, I have seen God do things and open doors and protect me from myself and from craziness and all sorts of things. However, God, I don't know if you can do this other thing though. I don't know if you really have the power to do this other thing that I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to encourage you that, for real, God doesn't view any of our situations differently from the next thing, and not one of those things are harder than his ability to resolve, fix, or change our perception and deal with for us. So that's a Sunday love. So let God be the God of all the things. Like, if you're allowing him, or you have seen how he has moved and done for you in one area of your life, let your faith be tested in all of those areas. Allow God to do all the things in all the areas.